Welcome back to Scott's Weekly Sports Day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with my dad today. Our final video for the month of July here. I'll be back in August with my college football predictions and everything, so happy to see college football coming back next month.
Yes, sir.
And let's get into our Impact Wrestling and WWE pay-per-views predictions for this weekend. Starting off with tomorrow night, $40 on pay-per-view for Slammiversary. I did buy it this weekend. It's going to be a fantastic show. So let's get into the predictions right now. First off, in my opinion, will be the Impact Wrestling X Division Championship match. The current champion will be Willie Mack defending against Chris Bay. Should be a very good match. One of the best matches of the card for me. I do think Chris Bay is the future of the X Division, but I don't think he wins it here. I'm going to take Willie Mack to retain the Impact X Division Championship here at Slammiversary tomorrow night on pay-per-view.
You know my favorite hamburger at McDonald's?
What?
Big Mac.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Willie Mack.
Yep.
Willie Mack's going to win this one. He's got a better name. He's the defending champion. Give me Willie Mack on this one.
Next up, in a gauntlet match to decide the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship, whoever that should be at the end of the night, as it'll be Alicia Edwards, Havoc, Kira Hogan, Kimberly, Kylie Ray, Nevaeh, Madison Ray, and Rosemary, Susie, Tasha Steelz, and Taya Valkyrie all vying for one spot for a shot at the Knockouts Championship. I'm going to go with Madison Rain to return tomorrow night and get a win. I hear she's tired of calling matches with her husband, Josh Matthews, on commentary, so I'll go with Madison Rain to get the win here in the gauntlet and become the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship.
I think that's a good pick, but I'm going in a different direction. I'm going with Havoc. Okay. One word, Havoc.
Next up for the Impact Tag Team Championships, one match I need to go my way the most tomorrow night, as it'll be the current champions Josh Alexander and Ethan Page to the North, defending against the unlikely duo of Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan. I will be going with the North to retain the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. I know they've held these titles for a year now, but I do not think it's going to be Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock to take the titles off of the North. So I'm going to go with the North to retain the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships here at Slammiversary.
I think the North's going to head south. I'm going with Callahan, and I'm going with Shamrock. The luck of the Irish gets Shamrock over the top.
The only reason he's picking that, ladies and gentlemen, is just so he can see Steven Battle win Fantasy Wrestling. That's the only reason why he's picking him right here.
And the luck of the Irish.
Next up in a Tag Team Open Challenge match, could be the first match on the card, as it'll be the Rascals, Dez and Wentz, going against mystery opponents. For me, the mystery opponents are going to be Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. We haven't seen them. They finally can go anywhere they want to now they've been fired for over 60 days. So I'm going to go with whoever the mystery opponents are to get the win. And in my opinion, that will be Hawkins and Ryder getting the win in their Impact Wrestling debuts.
If it's Hawkins and Ryder, I agree with Scott. I'm going to go with Hawkins and Ryder. Those guys couldn't win anything in WWE, but Impact is a new start, new beginning. I think those guys will get over pretty quickly and take down the Rascals.
Next up for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the old school rules match between the current champion Stephen Wolf's new best friend Moose defending against Tommy Dreamer. I'll be going with Moose to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship here at Slammiversary. I just do not think they want to put a belt on a over 50-year-old man in Tommy Dreamer, so I'm going to go with Moose to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship here at Slammiversary.
To me, they should put a new stipulation in this match, which is if Tommy Dreamer loses this match, he has to go into an old folks' home, a nursing home, because that dude's in his 60s. He's got to be. Give me Moose. Tommy Dreamer was a great wrestler back in the 1980s, but that was like 40 years ago. Give me the Moose, man.
Next up for the Impact Knockouts Championship, it will be the current champion Jordan Grace defending her title against Deonna Purrazzo, who I don't even know has an Impact Wrestling contract right now. But a lot of people are picking her, but I'm not. A lot of people have their bets on Deonna Purrazzo this weekend. I'm not one of them. I will take Jordan Grace to retain the Impact Knockouts Championship because I'm different than all you other people on YouTube. I'll take Jordan Grace to retain the Impact Knockouts Championship here at Slammiversary.
I could have gone either way, but Scott just convinced me. I'm going Jordan Grace. He feels pretty confident in this match, so I'm going with Jordan Grace to win this match.
I don't feel too confident, though. The only reason I'm picking Jordan Grace here is just so Steven doesn't get 40 points.
Oh,
That's the only reason why I'm doing it.
I'm still going with it.
Okay. Next up, the main event of the evening for the Impact World Championship. The vacant World Championship that Tessa Blanchard had to relinquish after not being able to do promos in over 2 months. And there will be 4 men battling for one spot, as there will be a former world champion in Eddie Edwards, Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, and a mystery opponent. Dad, we'll start with you. Who do you think the mystery opponent will be in this match?
You know, that's kind of put me on the spot. I'm going to go with Jack Swagger. I think he's going to come out of AEW and he's going to join Impact World Wrestling. How about you?
I'm going to go with EC3. I think EC3 has been the betting favorite for weeks. He's been denying it week in and week out, but I think he's just hiding it from the wrestling fans. And for me, I'm going to go with the mystery opponent to win the match, whoever that may be, whether it be EC3, whether it be Eric Young, whether it be Bully Ray, Jack Swagger, anybody of that nature. I think that they will win the World Championship. As much as I would love to see Ace Austin become the youngest ever TNA World Heavyweight Champion, I just don't think it's his time yet. So I'm going to go with the mystery opponent to get the win here in this match.
I like anyone who has the same first and last name. I'm going with Eddie Edwards, double E. I like him regardless of who the mystery opponent is. Eddie Edwards will win this title.
Next up, into Extreme Rules on Sunday. First off, for the United States Championship, it will be the current champion Apollo Crews defending the championship against MVP. Tough pick here, but I'm going to go with Apollo Crews to retain the United States Championship. As much as I would love to see MVP win the title, I don't think it's going to happen. I'll take Apollo Crews to retain the United States Championship here at Extreme Rules.
I'm going the opposite way that I went with Dreamer. We got another older wrestler here, MVP. He's got to be in his 50s. But I like MVP in this. I think he still has enough skills to take Apollo Crews in this match and win the United States Championship.
Next up in the match that I might not even get to watch because it'll be too disgusting to watch. It'll be an eye for an eye. It'll be Rey Mysterio going against Seth Rollins. I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio to get the win here. I think he needs a win. He needs to get revenge over what Seth Rollins has done to his family for the past couple of months. So I'll go with Rey Mysterio to get a win over Seth Rollins on Sunday.
First of all, let me just say I hope no one loses their eye. I think that's a little too aggressive and a little violent. But with that said, I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. I think Mysterio's got more to fight for. I think it's going to be a bloody, drag-it-out match. But I think Seth Rollins is just the bigger star at this point.
Next up at the SmackDown Women's Championship, it will be the current champion Bayley defending her title against Nikki Cross. I'll go with Bayley to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship here. I just don't think Nikki Cross is championship caliber right now. So I'll go with Bayley to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship here at Extreme Rules.
I agree. I think Nikki Cross is not ready for prime time to be a champion. I think Bayley's going to win this one.
Next up for the Raw Women's Championship, it'll be the current champion Asuka defending against one half of the women's tag team champions in Sasha Banks. I will go with Asuka to retain the Raw Women's Championship and keep that title on Raw. So I'll go with Asuka to win the title to retain against Sasha Banks.
I'm going the other way. I think Sasha Banks is probably the most talented female wrestler who's underutilized in WWE. I'm going to go with Sasha Banks to win this championship.
Okay. Next up for the WWE Championship, in a stipulation to be announced probably on the show, it'll be Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler. I will go with Drew McIntyre to get the win here, no matter what the stipulation is. I'll go with Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE Championship here against Dolph Ziggler.
I don't think Ziggler is even in McIntyre's stratosphere. McIntyre's far more talented. McIntyre gets the win. I agree with Scott, regardless of the stipulation. Even if Ziggler's allowed to bring like 5 other people, McIntyre still gets the win.
Next up in a Wyatt swap fight, it'll be a non-title match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. I'll go with Bray Wyatt to get the win here over Braun Strowman. Before I knew that the title was not on the line, I didn't know that until a couple seconds ago, I would have picked Braun, but because the title's not on the line here, I'll go with Bray Wyatt to get the win over Braun Strowman.
Plus, it's in a swamp, is that right?
Yes.
I'm not sure how they're going to televise that and how they're going to actually fight in a swamp, but I think Wyatt has the advantage in the swamp. He may drown Strowman, I don't know, but I think Wyatt wins this one just because of the venue, which is a swamp.
And that'll do it for this episode of Scott's Week Sports City, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back in August with my team-by-team predictions coming up then. Until then, I'll see you guys right back here that week on Scott's Week Sports, and I'll see you guys then. See ya.
See you guys.